and I was really sad to see it go. You know, it was one of those moments when Graham called me and said, "I'm not going to be coming back next year." I said to him on the phone, "I feel like you're breaking up with me because we had so much fun creating that role. Not only the role of Amy and Ty, but also Amy and Ty's parents." And I thought, you know, that's something that's really going to be missed. But then part of me started to think, maybe this could be a great journey for the viewers because they're obviously going to miss Ty. They're going to miss that relationship. Season 19 opens with a twist that will leave you breathless. Ty Borden is back. But this isn't just about a reunion. It's about Amy's heart, torn between the love she thought she lost forever and the life she tried to rebuild with Nathan. What does Ty's return mean for Amy's future? Will Nathan step aside gracefully? Or will his heartbreak lead him to leave Heartland forever? Grab your tissues because this season premiere is an emotional roller coaster you won't want to miss. Heartland Season 19 kicks off with a thunderstorm, both in the skies above Heartland and in Amy's life. As the rain pours down, Amy is in the barn tending to Spartan, her trusted companion through all of life's ups and downs. She's lost in thought, reflecting on the choices she's made, her relationship with Nathan, her journey of healing, and the love she still holds for Ty. Suddenly, there's a knock on the barn door. She freezes. It's late, and she wasn't expecting anyone. When Amy opens the door, her heart skips a beat. There he is, Ty Borden, standing in the rain, alive and well. For a moment, time seems to stop. Amy's breath catches and tears well up in her eyes. She's overwhelmed by disbelief, joy, and a flood of memories. "Ty," she whispers, as if saying his name out loud might make him disappear again. Ty steps inside, his emotions barely contained. "Amy, I had to come back. I never wanted to leave you or Lindy. I thought, I thought I'd lost everything, but I'm here now." His voice is raw with emotion, and Amy can see the pain and regret etched on his face. The reunion is bittersweet. While Amy is overjoyed to see Ty, her mind races with questions. Where has he been? Why did he stay away? And what does this mean for her life with Nathan? Ty's return brings a wave of hope, but also a storm of uncertainty. As the thunder rumbles outside, Amy invites Ty into the warmth of the barn, where emotions swirl as intensely as the wind outside. The reunion is far from simple. This isn't just about love lost and found. It's about the life Amy has built in Ty's absence. She spent years grieving him, trying to move forward for the sake of their daughter, Lindy. But now, with Ty standing before her, everything she thought she knew is turned upside down. Amy's thoughts flash back to her journey of recovery, her struggles raising Lindy alone, the endless days of wondering if she could ever love again, and the hesitant steps she took toward a relationship with Nathan. Nathan had been her anchor during her darkest times, offering stability and comfort. But seeing Ty again stirs emotions she thought she had buried forever. "I don't know what to say," Amy admits, her voice trembling. "Ty, I thought I'd never see you again. I thought you were gone for good." Ty looks at her, a mixture of guilt and longing in his eyes. "Amy, I know I hurt you. I never wanted to. I thought staying away was the only way to protect you and Lindy. But I was wrong. Every day I regretted not being here for you." Amy feels the weight of his words, but her heart is in turmoil. Nathan's love has been constant, even if it hasn't been perfect. Yet, the connection she shares with Ty is undeniable. It's the kind of love that doesn't fade with time or distance. She knows she owes it to both men, and to herself, to confront her feelings honestly. Their conversation is interrupted when Lindy enters the barn, rubbing her sleepy eyes. She stops in her tracks when she sees Ty. "Daddy," she whispers, her voice filled with confusion and a glimmer of hope. Ty kneels down, tears streaming down his face as he embraces his daughter for the first time in years. "It's me, Lindy. I'm home." As Lindy clings to Ty, Amy's heart aches for the years they've lost as a family. But she also knows that Nathan, who has stepped in as a father figure, will be devastated by Ty's return. Dawn breaks over Heartland Ranch. The warmth of the morning feels cold to Nathan, who notices the palpable shift in Amy's demeanor. She's distant, her thoughts consumed by Ty's surprising return. Nathan, who has poured his heart into their relationship, begins to realize that the future he envisioned with Amy is slipping away. The news of Ty's return spreads quickly through the ranch, and Jack, Lou, and the rest of the family are as stunned as Amy. While Jack is delighted to see Ty, he can't help but worry about the ripple effects his return might have on Amy's life. Lou, ever the realist, urges Amy to be cautious. Ty being here changes everything, Lou says. But don't forget what Nathan has done for you and Lindy. He's been there when no one else was. Amy struggles to focus on her daily responsibilities. Every time she sees Nathan, guilt gnaws at her. He has no idea about her emotional turmoil, but he senses something is wrong. Amy, you've been quiet since last night, Nathan says, approaching her gently. Is everything okay? Did something happen? Amy hesitates, her heart sinking as she prepares to tell him the truth. Nathan, there's something you need to know, she begins, her voice trembling. Ty's back. Nathan freezes, his face a mix of shock and disbelief. What are you talking about? Ty's gone, Amy. You told me. I know, Amy interjects, tears welling in her eyes. But he's here. He came back last night. Nathan takes a step back, struggling to process her words. And what does that mean for us? He asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Amy doesn't have an answer. She looks at Nathan, her heart heavy with the weight of her conflicting emotions. I don't know, she admits. I need time to figure this out. For Nathan, this feels like a betrayal, not just by Amy, but by fate itself. He spent years trying to fill the void Ty left behind, only for Ty to walk back into their lives. His love for Amy is real, but he knows he can't compete with the man who was once her everything. Nathan finds himself at a crossroads. He wants to fight for Amy, but he also knows that love isn't something you can force. Amy, I've always wanted what's best for you and Lindy, Nathan says, his voice breaking. But I need to know, do you still love him? Amy looks away, unable to meet his gaze. The silence speaks volumes, and Nathan feels his heart shatter. Meanwhile, Ty struggles to reintegrate into the family. He knows his return has thrown Amy's life into chaos, and he doesn't want to make things harder for her. I didn't come back to cause trouble, Ty tells Jack as they work in the barn. I just couldn't stay away anymore. I had to see Amy and Lindy. Jack places a reassuring hand on Ty's shoulder. You've been missed, Ty, but coming back now after all this time. It's not going to be easy for anyone, especially Amy. Ty nods, understanding the challenges ahead. He decides to give Amy the space she needs, but his resolve weakens every time he sees her. The love they once shared is still there, just beneath the surface, waiting to be reignited. Lindy, however, is overjoyed to have her father back. Her innocence and excitement bring a glimmer of hope to an otherwise tense situation. She spends every moment she can with Ty, asking him about his adventures while he was away. For Lindy, Ty's return is a dream come true, but for Amy, it's a bittersweet reminder of what they lost and what they might have again. As the days pass, Nathan begins to withdraw from the family. He spends hours working alone, avoiding places where he might run into Amy or Ty. The pain of seeing them together is too much to bear, and he starts to consider leaving Heartland for good. Nathan confides in Lou, who tries to convince him to stay. Nathan, you're part of this family now, Lou says. You don't have to leave just because things didn't work out with Amy. But Nathan shakes his head, his expression resolute. I can't stay here, Lou. Not when every corner of this place reminds me of what I've lost. Lou's heart aches for Nathan, but she knows no one can make this decision for him. Just promise me you'll think about it, she says. You've been a good influence on Lindy, and we'd hate to lose you. As Amy watches Nathan pull away, she realizes the depth of his love for her and the pain she's caused. Amy knows she has to come to a decision. However, each choice feels like a betrayal of someone she cares about. In a quiet moment by the river, Amy reflects on the journey that brought her here. She remembers the love she shared with Ty, the joy, the heartbreak, and how he shaped the woman she has become. But she also thinks about Nathan, the man who stepped in when she needed someone the most, who became a father figure to Lindy, and who showed her that it was okay to love again. Amy knows she can't have both. She must choose between the past and the future, between the love she lost and the love she found. As the sun sets over Heartland Ranch, Amy feels the weight of her decision pressing down on her. The next steps she takes will change everything, not just for her, but for Lindy, Ty, and Nathan as well. Night falls over Heartland Ranch, blanketing the rolling fields in a quiet stillness. But inside Amy's heart, a storm rages. She knows the time has come to face Ty and Nathan, the two men who represent very different parts of her life. Her love for both is undeniable, but she can't ignore the reality that one decision will shatter someone's world. The next morning, Amy finds Ty working in the barn, brushing Spartan. The sight of him feels both familiar and foreign, as if she's looking at a memory brought to life. Ty turns to her with a hesitant smile, his eyes searching hers for a clue about where they stand. "I didn't want to interrupt your routine," Ty starts, his voice gentle. "But I couldn't leave without speaking to you." Amy takes a deep breath, stepping closer. "I've been trying to make sense of all this. Your return. It feels like a dream, but it also turned my world upside down." Ty sets the brush down, his expression earnest. "I understand. I don't deserve a second chance, Amy. Not after all the pain I've caused you and Lindy. But I came back because I couldn't stay away any longer. You and Lindy are my family." Amy feels tears welling up as she listens to Ty's words. His love for her and Lindy is clear, but it's the pain in his voice that cuts through her. "I never stopped loving you, Ty," she admits, her voice trembling. "But things aren't as simple as they used to be. I've built a life here with Nathan, and he's been so good to me and Lindy." Ty nods, his jaw tightening. "I understand. And I don't want to pressure you into anything. I just had to see you one more time, to tell you how much you mean to me. Whatever you decide, I'll respect it." The weight of Ty's words hangs in the air as Amy tries to reconcile her emotions. The love she has for Ty is undeniable, but the thought of breaking Nathan's heart fills her with guilt. Meanwhile, Nathan is working in the back paddock, throwing himself into physical labor to drown out his emotions. Jack approaches him, sensing the younger man's inner turmoil. "Nathan," Jack starts, his tone gentle but firm. "I know you're hurting right now, but running away from this won't solve anything." Nathan wipes the sweat from his forehead, his frustration evident. "What am I supposed to do, Jack? Just stand by and watch while Amy and Ty pick up where they left off? I can't compete with that." Jack places a hand on Nathan's shoulder, his gaze steady. "You don't have to compete. Amy knows what you've done for her and Lindy, but you need to give her space to figure things out. Rushing to leave won't help anyone. Not you, not Amy, and certainly not Lindy." Nathan nods reluctantly, though his heart still aches. He knows Jack is right, but the thought of staying at Heartland while Amy decides between him and Ty feels unbearable. Later that night, Nathan sits on the porch, watching the sun set over the horizon. Amy joins him, her expression somber. She takes a seat beside him, the silence between them heavy with unspoken words. "Nathan," Amy begins, her voice barely above a whisper. "I want to tell you how much you mean to me. You've been my rock, my support system, and an incredible father figure to Lindy. I don't know how I would have gotten through the past few years without you." Nathan looks at her, his eyes filled with pain and love. Amy reaches for his hand, her eyes brimming with tears. "There is love, Nathan. But I need time to figure this out. I owe it to myself, to Lindy, and to you, to make the right decision, not just the easy one." Nathan squeezes her hand, though his heart feels like it's breaking. "Take all the time you need, Amy.